Now, I have enjoyed whatever comes from Marvel, whether if it's a good movie or a bad movie, and sometimes even if it gets a bad reputation. And I just experienced something like this in Madam Web, now playing in theaters. But is this new installment of Sony's Spider-Man universe really that bad? Does it really deserve the hate? Or can I give this one some good old-fashioned Big D justice? Well, guess what? I am. So brace yourselves as I review in spoiler free form Madam Web. Big D's entertainment rankings and reviews. Enough said. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a spoiler free review of the just now released 2024 superhero flick, Madam Web, released by Columbia, directed by S.J. Clarkson, from a screenplay she co wrote with Claire Parker and the writing team of Matt Sazema and Burt Sharpless, based on the Marvel Comics character of the same name, and fourth film in Sony's Spider-Man universe. Starring Dakota Johnson as the title character, along with Sydney Sweeney, Celeste O'Connor, Isabela Merced, Tahar Rahim, Mike Epps, Emma Roberts, and Adam Scott. Now, the film focuses on a younger version of the titular character. Cassie Webb is her actual name, and as she confronts her past while trying to save three young women and their futures the from the cruel Ezekiel Sims. Now, this film had just come out last week, and let me tell you, this film's gotten disliked like crazy. It's already gotten the lowest score on Rotten Tomatoes. It's even lower than Morbius. Though it is still, well, how should I put it this way? It's doing modestly, though, but I can't guarantee how it'll turn out. Now, the film starts in 1973, where a research team led by Sims and his pregnant partner Constance Webb discover an unidentified species of spider in the jungles of Peru with rare healing properties. Ezekiel betrayed the team and claimed the spider for himself before leaving Constance for dead. An indigenous tribe attempts to save her, but she dies shortly after giving birth to a girl whom she names Cassandra. Now going by Cassie, 30 years later, she lives alone in Queens, working as a paramedic alongside with her co-workers O'Neill and Benjamin Ben Parker. While saving a driver from a car hanging off a bridge, Cassie falls into the water and has a near-death experience. Ben revives her, but she begins to experience visions. Initially, she dismisses them as deja vu, but after failing to prevent O'Neill's death, Cassie realizes that she can see into the future. However, Ezekiel has gained the same power as Cassie, along with enhanced physical abilities, and collects information on three young women, Julia Cornwall, Anya Corazon, and Maddie Franklin, and his visions lead him to believe that they are destined to kill him. So it's up to Cassie to help them out. But that's all the story I'm going to give it to you. If you want to see this, check it out. But if you don't want to spend any of your money on this, then just wait for it to come to Netflix and what have you. Because just in case you don't want to get on physical media either, despite the negativity this is getting. Yeah, this is an issue here. This film is at a mere 13%. That's 2% less than Morbius got. And a C plus from CinemaScore? What's up with that? The Hollywood Reporter said it doesn't meet even the lowest expectations, and it's an airless and stilted endeavor driven by a mechanical screenplay that where the film operates on a need-to-know basis, forcing people to explain themselves through inelegantly breathless exposition. Pierre Travers says it's second to none in the dark art of boring you breathless. The New York Times says the story is absurd, the dialogue snort out loud risible, the fights uninspired. Though this here reporter noted that Miss Johnson appeared wholly detached from the nonsense swirling around her. Everything's bad on this. However, the Washington Post gave it a decent review, saying it's no blockbuster, but in its own quiet way, it manages to break down a few barriers. I still enjoyed this film for what it had to offer. Now, of course, it does have an issue with the action, what have you. Just doesn't give us much at first until maybe the final act and what have you. That's sort of my biggest complaint, but I still like this film for what it had to provide. So anyway, I really don't see why y'all are hanging on this. Now, I am gonna say the score from Johann Soderquist, if I mispronounce that name, I apologize, was fine, what have you. So the story can be a little, well, at times, but I still think it was fine, what have you. It was fine, good, you know what I'm saying, alright? So please, I'd rather say you just leave this film alone, okay? I mean, it tried its extreme best, alright? Now, but again, as always, we're entitled to our own opinions. So I'm really not trying to encourage you or you people in any way. Thank you. Now, our cast includes Dakota Johnson as Madam Web. Now, actually, Madam Web in the comics, she originally appears as an elderly woman who has this here kind of like a long-term neuromuscular junction disease that leads to varying degrees of skeletal muscle weakness. So I'd rather I don't pronounce them what have you because it's hard though. And well, she's and is connected to a life support system resembling a spider web. Anyway, and I only remember seeing Man Web in the '90s Spider-Man cartoon, so if you haven't seen the '90s Spider-Man series, or if you don't recall this character, then I recommend you watch it until you can get to the episodes where and what have you. Now, the director S.J. Clarkson says that Miss Johnson's character Cassie is a loner and described her as somewhat abrasive, quirky, and on the outer edges of things, which she compared to the title character of Jessica Jones, which of course was a recent hit from Marvel Television. Now, but I'm going to say, aside from seeing her in the 50 Shades of Grey trilogy or Bad Times at the El Royale or heck, even the Peanut Butter Falcon, Dakota Johnson's not too bad. Now, as for the rest of the cast, we have Sydney Sweeney, who recently appeared in Columbia's recent hit of a rom com, which of course is still doing well at the box office, of course. Anyone But You plays Julia Cornwall. Now, although I know this character is actually Julia Carpenter, who of course would be the second, known as the second Spider Woman after Jessica Drew in the comics. And of course, this version of Spider Woman, I knew this character best from the '90s Iron Man cartoon. So if you've not seen that before, then I'd say you better check that out too. Okay. She also went on to become the second Madam Web in Amazing Spider-Man issue number 637 in July of 2010. Yeah. Isabela Merced, or, well, Isabella Moner, as I actually knew her by, well, now she's known by Isabela Merced, after she had recently been credited as Moner, in films like Transformers: The Last Night, Instant Family, Sicario, Day of the Soldado, Andorra and the Lost Sea of Gold. She plays Anya Corazon. This was a character I wasn't too familiar with and what have you. She's a homeless teenager and what have you. She'd go on to be the third incarnation of Spider Girl later on in the comics. Now, Julia Cornwell is an awkward teenage girl who lives with her father and step family following her mother's departure and what have you. Now, Miss Corazon is a homeless teenager forced to live alone after her father's deportation. And then finally, Celeste O'Connor, who, of course, was recently in films like Freaky, Ghostbusters Afterlife, which she'll be returning as her character for that movie, Lucky Domingo, and Ghostbusters Frozen Empire next month, as well as the In Between and a Good Person, played Maddie Franklin. If you have seen the movie already, if you listen closely, she mentions her uncle Jonah. And you're thinking, what do you mean? I'm like, as in Jameson? You know, J. Jonah Jameson. That is in fact a spoiler and what have you. I'm only giving you this as a just in case you don't know much. But no, you heard me correctly, and what have you. You heard that correctly. Maggie Franklin is actually J. Jonah Jameson's niece in the comics. Now, of course, she's from a wealthy family, but with absent parents, though. So I'm gonna say her character's fine. Well, that character's fine and all. Tahar Rahim plays Ezekiel Sims, who I'm gonna say he's not really one of the best villains in a Marvel film, but no, he's okay. Well, I liked him in this black suit style similar to Spider-Man, though. Now, I did do some checking. This character actually appeared in Amazing Spider-Man number 3 in June of 2001. And FYI, he was co-created by J. Michael Straczynski, who, of course, created the classic sci-fi show Babylon 5, as well as um, Jeremiah. And of course, I know he's directed, well, not just directed, but I know he also worked on other things. So you better believe it, this and what have you. But still, he's an okay villain. Mike Epps plays O'Neill. He wasn't too bad. Emma Roberts plays Mary Parker. I was surprised to see her in this. I didn't know she was in this, but that was incredible. And Adam Scott plays Ben Parker. Not too bad, and what have you. So anyway, so the cast isn't too bad. So with everything I said, I think Man Web's just a misunderstood film and what have you. But you have to take my word for it. We're all entitled to our own opinions, as I've said before. So see it if you want, but if you're not, you don't want to spend your hard-earned money in this. You don't really want it on physical media. Well, just wait for it to come to Netflix instead. I mean, well, you get the point, all right? But I'm sorry to disappoint some of y'all, but I actually liked the film. Even though I did have a soft spot for Morbius and what have you, but I feel like I got a soft spot for Man Web as well. I mean, I like the three Spider Women, well, young versions of the Spider Women and what have you. I hope for the best they'll try and make up for this and try and do well, something new and what have you. So we'll hope for the best. They'll do maybe a Spider Woman flick or something like that in the future. So overall, Man Web, misunderstood film in my opinion, but I liked it though. For my score, please don't shoot me. I give Man Web 4 stars. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give it an 8.5. So what did you? So if you want to give me your thoughts, positive or negative, on this, just you can if you want to. I'm not trying to encourage you to go, on your thoughts on this in the comments section below. But if you like the video, consider clicking the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And we'll have another video come up soon on, well, it'll be another mini reviews vid, okay? So, before I do The Boy Next Door, okay? So that's what I'm going to do next. A mini reviews vid. So if you like this, consider checking out my reviews for the other films in the Spider-Man universe from Sony. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of Venom. The upper right-hand corner is my a spoiler-free review of Venom. Let There Be Carnage. Or go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my spoiler-free review of Morbius. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya and Excelsior! Bye now.